Well. I'm back here over on the other channel, folks. I'm over here on my Just My Thoughts channel, and I had a good time earlier with some people that came up with me, and we were enjoying music and having us a ball until it's either StreamYard is going back or YouTube is going back to real bullshit, or there are people up there that don't want people to be great. They want them to hear craziness. This here is my ranting. Hey, Gail, I see you up there, dear. I see you up there. Like I said, I'm ranting, but I'm not raving. But I am going to talk about things that go here on YouTube, on the streets of YouTube. That hell, I may get cut off on this shit. But it seems to me that we're in a stage or age of where people like the drama. You know, you hear people say, buy into YouTube, buy into YouTube. What the hell I want to buy into YouTube for when there's things that you can't say or can't do on here, you know, publicly as a person with an announcer. But yeah, we can get up here and we can cuss out women, we can cuss out men, we can cuss out people of a different lifestyle, and that goes through all the time. And when people get up here, even not just me, other people that want to play their music, like Nubiology, she was up here tonight. Thank you, dear, for being with me earlier on my other platform. Like I said before, watching from Cloud9, Candy Cane, people come over because a lot of times they don't want to hear the bullshit or the bull drag. But when you're playing music, some nights they let it go through, and then other nights I feel like there are haters out there. Even on a regular channel, I notice people are sitting around, they're striking people for no good reason. They're false flagging people's stuff for no good reason. Hey, Patty, man, how you doing, sweetheart? Yeah, missed it. I did a live. Well, I did my music live. It stayed on for about an hour and a half or so, but you know how they do. They interrupt the stream, and then you go back and you try to do it again. They interrupt the stream. But I'm thinking that there's more to this YouTube crap that meets the eye. People are. I notice why. Uh, I notice how people can sit up here and disgrace one another. Hey, hello, Room Shaker. How you doing, sweetheart? Thank you for dropping in and giving me a click and a view. I can see how people can sit up here. We degrade each other, and I'm trying to get this off of my mind because I was kind of pissed off at the things that happened, the way it's been happening. But it seems like there's powers that be out there that want us as human beings and people to act a fool with one another, to sit around and cuss each other out, call women by foul names, and each other, talk about the kids and talk about just little crazy stuff, but yet it's 4 degrees there. Oh well, honey, don't worry about it. Shoot, it's like it's snowing here and it's 4 degrees. So yeah, it's cold out. The wind is howling a little bit. uh, I'm just hoping everybody stays safe in this cold weather. That's another thing. Be able to check on somebody. My neighbors have called me 3 times already tonight, trying to wonder how I'm doing in this cold. I told them, hey, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, -4. Yeah, it's a -4 here. But I'm just wondering. Like I said, we're on an application, or we're listening to people day in and day out say the most vile, despicable things on their channels and to do people so wrong. But you come up with something that try to take that bull crap off of people's mind, even if it's for a half an hour. You know, there's powers that be, or like I said, people that don't want to see you be great, going in there and getting you hit. Yes, prayers to everyone. Prayers to everyone who's affected by this weather, because it's a trip out there right now, folks. I'm I can go on and look at the news, and I could tell you, I wouldn't leave a dog out in this kind of weather. And really, if you got pets and animals, be sure and take them in. You know, I can say that I I don't have any animals, but if I did, if I seen somebody's pet out there, I would definitely bring them in tonight. You know, I'm not an animal lover. I'm not an advocate of animals, but just be safe out there, and do the best you can. Make sure you got batteries in case your light goes out, you know, the electricity goes out, and just make sure that people are that you care about, call them. Hell, even, you know, a neighbor, if you got their phone number, call them and make sure that they're doing all right. You know, people should, this is a time when we should look out for one another, regardless of what goes on here on YouTube. Uh, I heard a couple of things tonight that kind of shook me to the core, but like I said, I try not to get in between things, because, like they say here, people 1 minute they're cussing and fussing, and the next minute they're lovey-dovey and arguing. You know, yeah, get those candles. Miguel said, get those candles, candles, flashlights, whatever you need. You know, if your lights go out, and make sure that you have plenty of warm blankets and stuff to cover up. You know, people with them power generators, make sure that they're full, and even if they're battery operated. And I'm hoping that they're outside. People don't, they tell us every year about having generators inside our homes, even if we got a basement, you know, not to run them in the homes, you know, but just make sure that you're safe and that your pets are in, and everybody buckle down, because this is going to be a hard frost. It's not going to be. I think Mother Nature is making up for the time that she missed this year, because, you know, hell, Christmas, hell, I was out there running around in my shirt sleeves and stuff. So let's make sure that no matter what, uh, everybody looks out for one another. You know, if you can sit on here and call people and do, you know, crazy things and talk about folks, you can call them and ask them, hey, how are you faring in this storm? You know, it's amazing that at times like these, when we do need one another, when we can talk about the things that we need to. Yeah, the word blizzard. It is going to be a blizzard. It is a blizzard. Matter of fact, in some parts of the country, they're already having a blizzard. They got that snow running down, and people are driving in it and trying to get around, and they're having accidents. If you don't have to leave home, people, don't leave home. Entertain yourself the best way you can. You know, right now they've got icy roads, tree limbs are sagging and breaking off in certain areas. So let's be mindful and cautious of things. And what I was getting back to here on YouTube, I look at it sometimes and I wonder, do we have to sell our souls for the pittance that we're getting off of here? Well, hello there, soul sister number one. Good evening, darling. How have you been doing? I haven't, well, I've seen you, but I haven't been. There's certain chats that I don't drop down in, but I've seen you, babe. How you been doing? And I hope you're staying warm also. I really do. I really hope you're staying warm. But I'm just thinking about how YouTube does us as a collective of people and a certain group of people, to where we can holler about being a sector, black, beef, mode 3, all these certain sectors. But when you look at it, it's really more black people. And I'm going to talk about it. We're black. I listened to James today, and James made sense to me. Why? Why do we have to do things to one another in order for mere pittance? I'm so glad you're doing well, baby. And please stay warm no matter what you do. Please stay warm. We do things here on YouTube to one another, to where over half of us would be ashamed to take our phones or our tablets out there in the real world, turn it up, and let people hear what really goes on YouTube. I mean, seriously, I was in a store, and I'm not going to say what channel, what I was on and listening to, but when I had it up and people were standing around looking at me and all the foul language was coming out and the way that people were talking to one another, they were asking me, what the hell are you listening to? I said, hey, this is supposed to be a form of entertainment. And they looked at me like, that's entertainment? No, I don't think so. One dude asked me to turn it down. He really did. He asked me to please turn that down, because the language and the words that were coming out of people's mouths, like I say, we can get on here and do all that kind of stuff, but will we take it out in public and do it? Will we take it to our doctor's office and turn it up and let people hear what we're saying on these apparatuses? But in a nutshell, I would say, yeah, we like the drama and stuff. And like I was telling somebody today, this here, to me, it's like a soap opera without a script. There used to be a time, it used to be fun to get on here. And I remember watching people do skits. And when I meant skits, I mean skits. They were dressing up as one another or acting out stuff and performing to a certain degree. I don't know what roasting and gagging turned into hatred and vile talk all the time. I just can't understand it. I've been down that road, and let me tell you, it's not pretty. It's not pretty, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to try to say it is either. And I agree with a lot of things that some of these women on here say, but I never hear the men say it, because I don't know if they're ashamed. Well, you know what? I have, honey. And you know why? I want to get people's opinions about it. I want to really see what the world how they react to not only that, but if I was on there acting like that, all the time, how would they react? Do I like that kind of stuff? Doing it? It's an experiment for me. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm going to film it, their reactions to it, and I'm going to post it up, and I'm going to see what YouTube's going to say to me about it or do about it. Because, like I said, entertainment is one thing, but degradation is another. And I feel right now we're on here degrading ourselves as human beings for what? For pittance, for pennies on a dollar. I watch people on here lose their lives. I watch people on here pass away, people that were dear to me, and then other people talk about people like they're a dog when things do happen like that. Did I or ever wanted to be in that kind of situation? No. I wanted to do something for YouTube with YouTube and the people that listen to me on YouTube to make them happy and make them forget about things, you know. So that's why I go over to my music platform and do my music. But it seems like here lately, there's haters out in the street because the way I look at it, if they can strike your page or flag your page for just talking, well, hell, they don't like what you're doing in the music genre, and I don't get paid for it. Like I said, I don't get paid for it. I do it from the kindness of my heart. I do it for the history of things that people may have never heard, or the music that they never heard. But yet we can get on there, honey. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but it's hard at times for me, old as I am, to think that we're still back into those days where people hate one another so bad, and now that they got a way to do it, they're spoiling it for everybody else that really wants to come out here and have fun. That's what I'm saying. You know, I love watching people cook or having a meal, going outside, showing their animals. But I also love a good conversation. I love people that can have fun and get out there and do a little skit every once in a while. Hell, even if it's about me, if it's funny, I can laugh at it. You see what I'm saying? Don't get. I'm getting to the point now to where life is precious. It's been precious. And you don't have to wait till you get ill or sick or anything. We should cherish each day that we got, each moment that we're here on earth. You know, yeah, it's the devil's collecting souls. You're right. You're right, Patty. I agree with you 100% on that. And I tell people, I've been told myself that the earth is not ours. It belongs to the devil. And people don't see that. They think just because they can get out there and so-called try to preach the word or say things, you have to be cognizant of what you're saying on here about people and to people, even if you're a quote unquote so-called preacher. You know, I wish people could have a discussion about the way things are here on YouTube without worrying about their money and worrying about getting paid, worrying about getting doxxed, or worried about all this stuff, which is going to come out to light pretty soon because, believe it or not, they got an initiative out. The AI, something has to do with AI. They went to Congress today about AI, and they're going to try to make sure that even using AI with people on here talking about people using AI, that you can get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? There are people out there that don't want their likeness made up into AI. They don't want their voices used on AI. So we're going to have to be careful with that step by step. As one person was saying, you know, AI can be used to have fun, but there's such a thing as overdoing it. Uh, and I really don't like the AIs now out with the babies, the dancing babies and all that. Babies talking like adults, saying the jokes and the stuff that they do. They're not letting our children be children. They're not letting our kids grow up. You know, yeah, it might look cute, but in the interim, those babies, kids are innocent. You know, they don't ask to be shaking their butts to music. They don't ask to be telling dirty jokes using Cat Williams' voice and all that kind of stuff. Those children are innocent, and if we start using kids for those kind of things, that's letting me know that people really don't give a hoot. You know, if the big companies don't give a hoot, they put it out there for you. They're not, the only thing they care about, the bottom line is $1. I'm just going to say it. It's about, the bottom line is $1. You know, we do things to one another, get mad. What we do, we strike pages for what? To try to cut off their money, especially if you monetize. That's why I said I'm not getting monetized, and I don't blame Pizarro for not being monetized either. But on the same token, I can blame her, and I'm going to say it, for allowing people to come up there and do the things that they do and say the things. And that's with a lot of content creators. You know, I've been trying to hold my peace about Lemon. I don't know. Lemon, I just wish you were a little bit smarter in the things that you say and do. I even wish sometimes the men on here, the real men, I don't mean men that are pretending to be men, but real men on here that knows what it's like to raise a family, have a family. You like the dog and cat AI. Yeah, no, that's different. You know, that's different with animals and stuff. But when it comes to a human being, I don't like the kids, them generating kids like that. You know, you know what, Soul Sister? I okay, okay. Well, let me get your channel. I'm gonna jump over there with you because I'll promote you, honey. I promote a lot of things at times when I feel it's necessary, and channels that have fun. Yep. See, those kind of things, I could kind of deal with those things. You know, James Brown and all them guys. Okay, honey, I'll mod you up. Just give me a few. Just give me a second. I'll mod you up. Uh, those kind of things like that with James Brown and those guys. Uh, yeah, I gotta figure out how to do that. I'll mod you up, sweetheart. I'm definitely gonna mod you up. So don't worry about that. Um, those kind of AIs, they're different, you know. I but when we get to using AIs, putting kids in adult spots when there really should be adults doing it, that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. Um, I my integrity and about things that go on YouTube is completely different now than what it was even 4 or 5 years ago. I used to didn't give a shit, but now I see the way people are acting and how they're doing one another, and even if it's a lie, you know, they want it to be the truth, and we could see it as a lie. Um, I'm the only thing I'm going to say about that is, heaven help us all. That's all I'm going to say. I may not be around to see it. I may not be around to witness it, but sooner or later, people are going to realize that the internet wasn't made to be a terroristic threat. It wasn't made to be tearing races down and people down of different sexualities, the way that they think about things in life, because Jesus wanted us to love one another. When he came on this earth to be sacrificed, and I said he was sacrificed, he preached love. He tried to preach unity. But as we've seen, people were jealous of him. And that's another thing. Jealousy on here hurts us real bad. I can understand that, honey. And you know what? I chalk it up to two things. I chalk it up to two things. When Lemon first spoke to me like he did, it was on another platform. When he got his new platform, it was an entirely different story, but he was still Lemon. And somebody somewhere dropped the ball with him when they tried to tell him how to get on YouTube, how to be on YouTube. Uh, Guidance growing up as a child, I look at that because I'm way older than Lemon. I got 40 years on Lemon. I have to look at the way he was born, the way he was raised up, and that's not talking about him negatively. I just wish he had more positivity in his life growing up. And see, that's where a lot of things happen here on YouTube. We don't have the positivity in us before we decide to get on here and do things. You know, some people just jump right on here and start shooting off at the mouth. I made that mistake. Trust me, I made that mistake. But I learned later on that, hey, this is not the way. I told myself, this is not the way you were raised. This is not the way you want to be as a man. And especially when you have your own people that might be listening to you on this apparatus. You know, thank you for the prayers, dear. Thank you guys for praying for Ligil, because she is doing well. I'm glad she's back at the way she is, because let me tell you, a lot of people on here that's been on here that we've known on here, they're gone. Younger, older, in between, male and female. It's a lot of people I miss here on YouTube having fun and doing things with. And it's just the idea that we can show the love and compassion, but sometimes if we do it too much, people get mad and jealous with us and say that we're phony with it and everything. No, when I tell you myself, and I'm going to tell everybody, when I say I love you as Jesus loves us, I mean that. Not in a physical sense, but in a mental sense capacity. I love people when they're having fun. I love to see you smile. I love to see people getting out and enjoying their families, because that's what the world is made of. It's not, the world wasn't made on fairy tales. You know, no one lives happily ever after. Everybody struggles. No matter what, no matter how or where they come from, everybody struggles. Believe it or not, even a rich man struggles because his mind is worried about who's going to take his money. You see what I'm saying? I believe there's nothing wrong with being rich, but there's also a blessing in being poor, because you do have less worries, but we just emancipated because of other things and the way that we look at the way other people live and how they live. You know, I've never been a one to follow the crowd. I never looked at the grass was greener on the other side of the fence, but I made my mistakes in life. Everybody makes mistakes. So there's people on here that's been married up to 7 times, probably here on YouTube. But maybe at the 7th one, it was the thing that they wanted. It was really what they needed. You know, we go through life making mistakes, but if we can't correct those mistakes, then we haven't learned a damn thing. That's what I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about it. Room Shaker, I once again, I want to thank you, darling, for being you, being full in life, speaking up, because sometimes you say there's some of the things that I want to say, but I don't say it because I'm too old for the conflict back and forth. You know, you're right in some of the stuff that you say. Not all of it, dear, but some of it. Lady Nika, I've been with you since I don't know when. How long has it been? I listened to you today. I listened to you tonight. I pray for you, darling. I pray for you every day because lupus is nothing to make a joke about. I had a dear friend of mine, a female. She had lupus. One of the best people in the world. She passed at an early age, younger than you too. Come to think of it, those kind of things make me look at people differently when they are ill. Faith Yaya, wherever you're at, darling, I'm talking about you too. You've made me happy on here. We've had good times, really good times, especially when we had those twins, and then we know that was a lie, but we had fun with it. We had fun with it. Those are things that I miss from you, and I hope you're doing better. Miguel, I know you're struggling, baby. I know you had that stroke, and I'm praying for you every day. And for the people that pray for you every day, I thank you guys for praying for Miguel because it's not easy. It's not easy. Jackson 23 had a similar situation. The only thing happened with her, she got hit by a truck, and it took her a long time to recover. Oh, close to a year. Close to a year. Those little things like that, when I see and listen to, I have to think about. I have to think about. And when I think of people on here, Dee Dee Love, her commentary, to me, I wish I had more strength and heart to say some of the things that some, and let's face it, you men on here are weak. Some of you guys are weak. You're playing the game in order to get along with a woman, but sometimes the games that you play on here are just not right. Calling them a bunch of B's and A's and all that, hookers and all that stuff. Then you want to get up on their platform. And ladies, I wish you really wouldn't let those kind of things make you do what you don't want to do. I mean, there's no way that I respect a man that calls a woman a bunch of B's and H's and then want to get up here and try to act like everything is all right. It's not all right, fellas. When you get old, there's changes in your body. And I'm going to say it. I'm going to talk about it right now because I watched ZX today on certain people's platforms, and he come up there doing this. And then I watched the chat and how they reacted to him too. These women know that ZX is not the type of man that they really want to hear from all the time. No matter what he does or how he says bye-bye and all this stuff, mama. And then he'll turn right around and get on his platform and call all of y'all names, degrade you. Then you talk about how in the world can a man have a daughter? And I know that's gay. Let's put it out there. She's a lesbian, but he has so much hatred and venom in his heart for people that are gay. I can't see it. I can't see it. He can holler about blocking people on the channels. Then he'll get mad and he'll say that he'll strike a channel. He'll strike a channel down. But all in all, I look at him and think about when I was 60, what was happening, the changes that I was going through in life at 60. And let me tell you, folks, he's not happy with it. He can't function like he used to at 60. He can't get out there and have the fun like he used to at 60. Hell, even I couldn't. But I had to realize that there are things that will make me feel better and do things. Just because I can't do it anymore doesn't mean I've lost value. being a man. I hear him telling the stories about him growing up and all that. It makes me kind of wonder why, even with your daughter, the things that you say about women and homosexuals, that she would find it in her heart to love you. It must be a struggle for her. That's all I'm saying. Because I love my family. I love my kids. I love my grandkids. I got nieces and nephews that are in the gay community. And I never looked at them differently. They've always been in my heart. And meeting people on here, even if they're gay or lesbian or straight, if they can show compassion and love every once in a while, why not enjoy them? I listened to James. What drew me to James Caldwell, Mother, as everybody calls him. When I first seen him, he was doing his cancer thing. And let me tell you, folks, I'll tell you, and y'all can sit up there and try to make fun of it or whatever, how you want to do it. I've fought cancer, and I'm a cancer survivor. Okay, cancer runs in my family with the men on the men's side, prostates, and I'm definitely they're looking at my colon right now. But to see James and what he went through and the struggle he went through, that's what drew me to him. Not only that, but him being an entertainer here on YouTube. You know, during that time he was doing his Treasure Milan. He was doing Milan dressed up. And to me, that's acting. In a way, that's acting. Hello, dear. Hello, Natisha. I see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I seen James as an actor. Yeah, he's a gay man, but he gives the illusion of being a woman at times, and he entertained people with that. To me, that's an art form. That's an art form. Duchess Kelly Love. What can I say about Duchess? Except Duchess has been Duchess ever since I knew him. I remember him and Kwani being together, seeing them in St. Louis. They were such close friends. And I even did a jingle with Duchess at one time. Duchess had me up there singing when it wasn't popular to sing, really. But he made his mistakes too when he had March Madness. He called it Monkey Madness or whatever it was. Oh, the hell with it. I'm not going to go back that far with Duchess because Duchess is still here. And thank you, Duchess, for entertaining us. Thank you, dear. Thank you so much, Soul Sister number one. Thank you. The Duchess was here. Even Kwani, you know, even Kwani and I had our little scuffles and stuff, but I can understand why Kwani was so angry at the world and bitter because they made her like that. I think Kwani is one of the sweetest persons in the world when she can be or wants to be. And if you listen to her, some of the stuff she does say is truthful. But do I want to get cussed out by Kwani? Oh, hell no. No. As a man, no. Because I don't feel like that's the proper thing to do. You know, I can give her roses while she's living. And even after she's gone, I can still say, hey, me and Kwani we were still friends. No matter how it might have sounded on YouTube, we're still friends. Another thing I want to say is that when you go through battles in life and people really pray for you, wishing that you get well, don't always think that somebody's out there hating you. Always. Don't. Prayer is good. Prayer changes things in a way. It does. It changes. But we have to pray for the right things. Saw Dovey earlier tonight. The only thing Dovey. Girl, get back on your scooter. Get back on the chandelier. Come over to the juke joint. Let your hair down. I miss you, Dovey. I do. I watch you, and you're doing the weather now, and that's a good thing. Long as you give the people the right advice on the weather. Don't have them want to go out there and make snow cones with the snow. Oh, Lord. Those people, Louisiana Red, I think about her. Houston Bread. That's another young lady that it took me a while to really absorb her, but I think that what drew me to her is for her love of music. And it's been with a lot of people, their love of music, that draws me to them. Mixology, I miss her. I know she's cooking. She says she's doing things differently, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Like I said, when people really want to come together and try to have a fun time, it looks like YouTube is always interfering with that. But yet they let the fuck shit get away. That's I'm just saying it. They let all the bullshit get away. I'm not flustered or anything. I'm just speaking the way I should be speaking when it comes to things that I don't like and I do like. And the only thing that I don't like is that they're not letting us be human beings. It seems like we're all machines, we're all mechanics. I'm just wondering where life is going to take us down the road 10 or 15 years from now. I do sometimes wonder the people that are on here, will they be here tomorrow? A lot of people I listen to, and we can go in here and you can see the people that I listen to. I can see the people you listen to. But I've been doing a lot of replays lately because life is lifing for me. And I don't want to miss out on some of the joyous occasions that I'll be able to have. I got a baby shower, believe it or not, I got to go to in March. I'm hoping and praying that I'll be able to make that shower in March because life isn't guaranteed to no one, not even myself. But I'm looking forward to having a summer to where I can get out and show you guys that there's more to life than YouTube, and we can still get on here and have fun. Changing the way that we talk to one another. We want to have conversations, but the conversations never occur. Oh, I'm okay, dear. I mean, health-wise, I had my health checkup last week before last, and the only thing my doctor told me was don't gain too much weight. I'm at a nice 224 pounds right now, and I'm doing good. My blood sugar is down, taking my blood thinners. Yes, because I had blood clots. I'm subject to blood clots now at my age. And like I said, when we get a certain age, man, start taking care of yourself. Be healthy. Get out there, eat the right vegetables and fruit. Don't be ashamed to let that doctor stick that little finger up your butt to check your prostate. Women, don't you be afraid to go get your pap smear and your breast exam. And men, we do need our breast exam too every once in a while because men can catch breast cancer. Just remember that. But like I said, I just had to come on and just say a few things about how I feel about YouTube and what it does, what it's doing to us as a whole, as a collective whole. Uh, Once again, if those that I got, people that I forget to say or mention on YouTube, just chalk it up to my head, not my heart, because I'll probably get off here and say, damn, I should have mentioned them at times. But I want to thank all you guys that listen to me, good or bad, you know, on this platform and on my music platform. Tonight I was with Uncle Claude earlier. Thank you, Uncle Claude. Yeah, we're going to see. The playoffs is tomorrow. We shall see, Uncle Claude, if you made the right picks. Like I said, well, the playoffs start today. It's Saturday. But thank you. I want to thank MU too, also. AMU. Keep on doing your thing, dear. You're getting the views and you're very controversial. But like I said, politics makes strange bedfellows. It does. To Demetra lit all days, honey, God bless you, babe. We all have those setbacks, but you're here again, and I love you for that. I haven't spoken to you in a while. Thank you, Miss Jean Hulk. Always, thank you. Sorry about your cousin this year, last year, Miss 100. You and that old cat and that Doberman. Thank you, baby. Thank you, because you make me so happy. So excited, just got. Okay, so sister, now you're talking. Now you're talking. Hey, my Bears were there. They were close, but it wasn't meant for them this year. But good luck to your Seahawks. And matter of fact, good luck to everybody's team final that made it to the Final Four. And then after this weekend, we'll know who's going to be battling for King of the Mountaintops. You know, that's a fun time for those that have a team that made it this far. I think Uncle Claude went against the Seahawks this weekend. You better check his stuff. Uncle Claude, soul sister, is a Seahawks fan. You might want to rethink what you said. Oh Lord. But no, folks, I'm gonna get off of here, and I want to thank all you guys that came up tonight and dropped down in the chat and spoke to me and let me know you acknowledge me, and even thank you for a thumbs up. If I get it, if I don't, if I do, I don't. I'm not worried about that. I just want people to be themselves, be happy and joyous this year, more so than last year. We had a whole lot of problems, but it carried over. And to Lolo, sweetheart, I know it's hard for you to keep a straight face at times, but keep that chin up, baby. Keep your chin up. Yep, you waited a long time. And you know something? I think your time is now, dear. I think your time is now. Them Seahawks, I'm looking forward to them being in the Super Bowl this year. I really am. And once again, like I said to Lolo, keep your chin up, babe. I know it's hard. I put on a big face when my mom passed, and that was years ago. And to today, it still hurts. It still hurts today. So no matter what, keep being your bubbly self. I don't care what nobody says. Be your bubbly self. Just Krista, you owe me a telephone, woman. That's all I'm going to say about that one. You still owe me a phone, just Krista, and good luck to you, babe, because I know you're going through some problems right now too. May your niece come through with flying colors when she gives birth to that baby. Oh, I know it was. You guys probably Hell, what do you think about us Bears? The last time we won the Super Bowl, we partied. I know you guys are going to party. I know you're going to party. And I'll be right there with you on Super Bowl. If they get to the Super Bowl, I'll be right there with you on Super Bowl Sunday, dear, watching that game. Hello, Simon, the activity. Well, hello, Simon. Good evening. I see you too. just shooting off, just shooting off. But like I said, people, yeah, I'm an old guy, 75 years old. I'm old enough to be some of you grandpas, great grandpas on here too, matter of fact. But I still enjoy life. I'm trying to keep it positive things, the way that I look at life itself. And wow, that snow is really coming down now. Oh well, I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna go, as they say, run the YouTube streets and see who's out there, what's going on. I might drop down on a platform to where I feel comfortable at. If not, I'll just say hi to the chat like I've been doing. Uh, I don't. I really. I'm Simon. I'm not really doing links. Not right now. Not right now. I don't have banners up for my stuff. When I get my banners up, and I'm able to really operate it because StreamYard has really done a whole lot of changes. If I was on my phone, it would be different. I could just do that at the drop of a hat. I'm on my computer, and I really don't go from my computer all the time. I usually go from my phone, but they say going through your computer, your sound is better. So I miss 100, dear. Good evening, baby. Good evening. I will do it next time, Simon. I will do it then. But thank you for coming up here, Simon. I'm not gonna say I'm not doing it, not doing it. I'm just telling you the reason why. Oh, it's raining there, Miguel. Well, you guys, at least you got rain. You got rain, dear. Here it's snowing, the wind's blowing, it's cold. Below it's like -4 degrees now. So it is cold. It is cold here. But really the temperature is 7 with the wind chill is we got a -10. Now we're at a -10. And like I said, people bundle up. If you have to be out in this weather, bundle yourself up and make sure that you do check on your neighbors and call them and see. And if the lights go out, make sure you have flashlights and all that. I don't recommend candles. I recommend battery operated lights, even your phones. Make sure they're plugged in and charged all the way 100%. So if the lights go out, you will have something. You will have something. The lights go out, we probably won't have Wi-Fi. If you got 5G on your phone, hey, that doesn't matter. But with no TV and everything, it's gonna be a mess. And it started tonight. They said it was supposed to start last night, tomorrow night, but it started earlier tonight. It's running in the days Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So yeah, there she is. That's my Miss 100. Yep, it's a good morning, except it's so doggone cold out there. But to all you ladies out there in YouTube land, no matter what, uh, stay positive in life. And I'm gonna tell you like I tell myself, I'm not waking up bitter with anybody in any morning. If anything, I'm gonna wake up bitter with that devil because I can't hop out of bed. I have to ease out of bed now. So the devil made me do it, y'all. Yep. He got me to this point where I have to slow down and think about all the goodness and the joy that God has given me throughout my life. Batteries and candles are perfect. Yeah, they're perfect. Definitely perfect, but We also have to remember carbon monoxide. Burning them candles, you got that carbon monoxide in your home. That's another thing people don't think about. You know, candles smell good and all that. They got them to burn and stuff. But that's why I think they went to the plug-ins in the wall, to get the scent out, because those candles were causing them problems too. People burning candles at night, falling asleep, and some of them not waking up. They don't want to talk about that either. That's another thing. But with that being said, you ladies and gentlemen on here, y'all have a good night, a good rest of your day in the morning. I'll probably be up for a little bit watching the weather and listening to people on YouTube. Hopefully, they're talking about the weather in their area and what's going on. And with that being said, you guys, thank you once again for coming up. Soul Sister #1 show. Thank you always. Miss 100, God dog it. Thank you, baby. Love you. Thank you for dropping in. Simon, I will drop the link next time when I get my banners up and everything else. Okay, I will be there. So it's not a knock. I'm just not ready for it. Just Natisha, thank you, darling, for showing up, dropping in the chat. And to all you guys, have a safe night, safe tomorrow. And always remember, Room Shaker. Thank you too, babe. I haven't gotten you. I'm just going down my list. Always remember, it's always darkest before the dawn. Every cloud has a silver lining. And the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So we all can't afford those white picket fence. Yep, I'll see you, baby. I'll see you guys. I'm gonna see you around too, sweetheart. Thank you all for coming. Have a blessed night and a safe night. And stay warm. Good night, people.